Hey guys, welcome to the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel where we help you go further, faster financially. I'm your host today, Michael Mathe. Guys, we love talking on this channel often about people that have influenced us throughout our business career. We love bringing special guests on here that talk about their past experiences. We love innovators, entrepreneurs. There's some really good ones out there, and we're going to feature one of my favorites here on the channel here today, Mr. Elon Musk. One of the things that he has put out over the years are just a lot of different hacks that he utilizes in business, and one of our favorites is his top 6 business hacks that he has sent his staffers to implement in their day-to-day operations. And I'm going to share those with you today. Guys, if you like information like this here on the channel, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button below. It definitely helps out our algorithms. And hit those comments below, guys. You know, you're not going to agree with everything that we say on this channel. If you've got, kind of a backstory that you can fill in on how you guys have maybe solved one of these issues, or what you guys have done in your office to help promote, kind of a healthy work environment and a productive work environment, we'd love for you to share that with us. Number 1 for him is leave meetings immediately if you're not contributing. So he's saying that the minute you realize that you're not contributing anything to that meeting, whether it's over the phone, if so, you hang up abruptly. If you're in an in-person meeting and you come to that realization, you are, according to him, supposed to just get up and kind of just let yourself out unannounced. Guys, I don't agree with this one. I think that that's a challenge. I get the essence of it. Of course, you're trying to, preserve your own time. You're certainly not trying to waste anyone else's. But there is, in my opinion, some level of professionalism there. Especially if you're a subordinate. You couldn't be expected in most companies to just hang up the phone on a meeting with your boss, even if you didn't feel like you were adding anything to the conversation. You certainly wouldn't want to get up and just kind of walk out. So, I do disagree with him in that sense, but I think that as long as it's addressed, I think if you just kind of take it head on after the fact, you're not walking out, you're not hanging up, but maybe you walk up and you meet with the staff and say, look guys, I appreciate the meeting. I also appreciate my time and yours. Moving forward, I don't know that it makes a ton of sense for me to be involved in this because I don't think I'm adding a tremendous amount of value. So I think that would probably be the most diplomatic and professional way of handling that. Number 2 is going to be avoid large meetings. I love Jeff Bezos. He's got what he's called the 2 pizza rule. And in essence, what that is never have a meeting that the entire meeting can't be fed by 2 pizzas or less. I think that's genius. You get in these, especially in big corporations, you get these big meetings. In my corporations, which were certainly not, some giant, corporate outfit, but, you kind of get these all hands on deck meetings where it's, everyone in the entire staff is in there, and most people are not, again, adding anything of value to the conversation. In fact, it's counterproductive because it's taking away from the tasks that they should be doing as opposed to sitting in that meeting. I've got personal experience with that. I've got a business partner who's probably watching this video, and we've kind of talked about this over the years, love him to death, but he loves to meet. And he loves to have those kind of all hands on deck meetings. And I always say, look, if we've got kind of a rah-rah speech, one thing, if a big company announcement, that's another. In my opinion, you want to keep those to a minimum as best you can because, like I said, they can be very counterproductive and they can also lead to lower morale. Guys, go ahead and drop a comment below if you would and share your experiences if you've got some of those, the good, bad, and the ugly. Number 3 is communicate directly, irrespective of the hierarchy. So effectively what he's saying is don't prohibit communication between departments. Again, guys, that's kind of a fine line, especially if you're in a big corporation. I mean, there is a kind of that hierarchy or that chain of command by design so that there's an orderly flow and that there's a protocol. If you're in a smaller business, you're in a mom and pop, I would say you've got 10 or less employees. Having those lines of communication open, I think, are super valuable where everyone's communicating. I think when you've got that small team like that and there's a lot of that interaction and synapses firing together, I think it can certainly be healthy and help businesses move faster. Number 4 is quit using nonsense words and tech jargon. Basically, if you're having to explain what you mean to someone, it's prohibiting the ability to communicate back and forth. They're too busy trying to understand what you're saying. This is all about having a concise message, whether it's just interpersonal communication, and office communication, or whether it's communication with like a potential customer. You need to be concise with your approach and your communication so they know exactly who you are, what you do, and how you do it. I think so many times, companies and offices can get caught up with this like office speak, can make you chuckle. But I love Elon Musk's take on this, so I certainly agree with it. In fact, found it kind of humorous enough that I went out there and kind of did my own surfing on a couple different websites just to find something that I think would be applicable to this. And I'd like to read this to you guys. So I'm not going to give any names here, of course. I'm certainly not throwing anyone under the bus. Anyone that has gone out and tried to forge their own way in their own business, I have obviously certain respect for. But let me go ahead with, here's the first one. Seamless growth strategies for cost-effective functionality and human capital. What? I mean, that sounds smart, right? But it's just a word mashup. I mean, I have no idea what cost-effective functionality and human capital is. I mean, I understand the words independently, but no idea what that means, no idea what that company performs, what they sell. That was kind of a stumper. How about this one? Collaboratively building multifunctional imperatives. Come again? I mean, again, that has no rhyme or reason. It makes absolutely no sense to me. There's no context behind it. So that's just a head scratcher. Guys, agree or disagree with that? Would love to hear that in the comments below. But love number 4. Number 5, according to Musk, is ditch frequent meetings unless absolutely necessary. Guys, nothing can kill a day like being pulled in and out of meetings or dragging people in and out of meetings. Nothing crushes productivity. It can certainly slow down momentum and in many cases can really hurt morale. So imagine you're a person that's been tasked with something specific and have been given a deadline for it, but you're getting dragged in and out of meetings sometimes for hours on end every day, and you don't complete that task, and then your superior comes up and they ask why you don't have it accomplished on time. Well, there's a very solid reason for that, because you've been getting dragged in and out of meetings unnecessarily and very frequently throughout every workday. And in that same vein, there's a lot of business owners and people in business that think just having meetings is doing or playing business. I totally disagree with that. Certain meetings are definitely necessary, but unless there's action items being taken while that meeting is happening, there's not going to be productivity outside of it. Now, this over meeting is certainly something I've got some experience with. And in fact, in one of my companies, it became kind of an issue. We had quite a few employees, and this was happening kind of time and time again at the fault of exec. So what we ultimately did was we paid tens of thousands of dollars for our exec team and our key personnel to go through a leadership training that, among other things, a key component was what was called meeting rhythm or meeting cadence. And what that was setting a regular schedule of infrequent meetings. So whether that's once a week, or a couple times a week, whatever that case may be, you guys are going to have to determine that on your own. But just having that regular schedule and then not having those pop-up meetings throughout the day. Now, there's going to be fires. There's going to be fires in business. So what you and your exec team or your leadership team needs to do is define what urgent means, right? So urgent is going to be this. Anything that falls outside of that bucket is going to be kicked back or punted to the meeting that we've got tomorrow, for example. So, that kind of my hair's on fire, my, hair's burning mentality is certainly not the way to conduct business. And I think that's a very, very much so a losing formula. Number 6, this one kind of made me chuckle. Always pick common sense as your guide. If there's a rule in the business that people kind of laugh or scoff at, address it. He recommended playing a game called Kill the Rule. And effectively what that was an exercise that an office played where everyone was to talk about a rule that they wish that they could kill that would either and or both help them service their customers better and or be more productive throughout their day. I thought that was a neat exercise, and I actually am going to implement that in a couple of my businesses. Obviously, there's got to be rules and protocols in every business, but they should not come at the expense of your customers, and they should not come at the expense of the daily productivity of your employees. In my opinion, it's better to have a couple regularly scheduled meetings with the proper personnel to discuss matters in those meetings as opposed to those pop-up meetings, or the hairs on fire meetings that happen throughout the day. In addition to that, keep them brief. I know just from personal experience, any meeting that lasts over about 30 minutes, my attention span starts to go away. Now, there's definitely going to be some exceptions to that. If there's a planning meeting, for example, those are going to be exceptions to the rule. You've got a couple hour window blocked off or an afternoon or even a day blocked off in those instances. But on just kind of the day-to-day operational meetings, try and keep them within 15 to 30 minutes. In my opinion and experience, the best way to do that is have an agenda going into it. Even if it's just a simple, list of 5 bullet points that need to be kind of discussion topics throughout that meeting that are given to all of the participants in that meeting in advance. So that they've got a chance to see it. They know what the meeting's going to be about. They know what the framework is going to be. And they can go ahead and develop thoughts in advance of that meeting. That way, when everyone gets in there, everyone's on the same page, and you can get right down to business because people already have preformed thoughts about whatever the subject matter is. Keep them brief, 15 to 30 minutes, my best recommendation. Look, guys, business is already difficult. We all know that. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working in that W-2 position, there are going to be challenges every single day. So why not take the advice and some of the simple hacks from the world's richest man, Elon Musk? We were happy to share this information with you guys today. Hopefully you can get a couple nuggets out of this so that you can implement in your day-to-day operation. As always, we love bringing this content on here. Smash that thumbs up below if you want more like it. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe below and ding that bell. That's going to give you the heads up as we bring additional content like this on the VIP Financial Ed YouTube channel, where we talk about all things credit, capital, and cash flow. Until next time, take care. Make it a great day.